I want to tell you a story. About a year ago, we had to replace a section of our kitchen wall. And in our kitchen, we had this really thick texture on the wall. It was beautiful, but it was starting to get old. And so when we got the new portion of the wall, we had to decide, do we want to try to match the texture? Or are we looking for something new altogether? And if we're looking for something new altogether, do we replace the old texture that existed? Well, we decided to replace the old texture. We decided to just scrape all those walls and get it fixed. Well, the company that was replacing our walls, we could have hired them to do the additional work as well, but we decided to do this ourselves. So I got out my scraper and we went to town. We just started scraping away at that wall, and we were just going to retexture this as a flat, smooth surface. I'm scraping at the wall and scraping at the wall and making a mess all over the place. It was great. It was awful, but it was great. It was good fun until it started to get a little bit tiring. Now, I had all of Memorial Day weekend to work on this. I had all weekend to work on this. This was going to be done in 4 days. Easy. I had to build a little bit of a structure to work on this over my stairwell, but it was going to work. It was going to work. Got a little bit complicated, and by the end of the week, we really didn't have much done, relatively. I mean, there was a lot we had done. Scraping was all done. A lot of the resurfacing was done, but there was still patches that needed to be smoothed out and perfected. And I had to go to work. I just had to go to work. So I started getting frustrated. I was trying to work on this throughout the week and pushing myself through this and resurfacing and smoothing and resurfacing and smoothing and trying to paint and get this all done as quickly as possible. And during this time, life is going on, and we're going back into this. We couldn't eat in the kitchen because it was this construction zone and dust everywhere. It was really gross and yucky. I reached this point where I started to question myself. Where I started to question my ability to make decisions. Where I started to question my ability to complete this project. And then that questioning bled into other areas of my life. It got really all over and sticky everywhere. So I started questioning my ability to do well in my business. I started questioning my ability to do well at work. I started questioning my abilities altogether and wondering if I could even accomplish the things that I had in mind, if my goals were even valid. And it was a really hard time for me. I was getting upset, frustrated, and just tired of living in this messy world, and tired of working on it, tired of trying to finish or fix this project. Well, I had a mentor that I was working with, and I contacted him one day, and I said, look, I'm really struggling. I can't do this. This is so hard for me. I'm stuck in this messy situation. I told him all about it, and I told him all my negative feelings and thoughts and fears. And he said, well, what more do you have to do? I said, that's the worst part. I only have to do X, Y, Z, and it would only take me about a half an hour to do it, but I'm just not getting it done. And all of a sudden, the light bulb came on. Oh my goodness. It would only take me about a half an hour to do this. I had an hour still before I had to leave for work. This was perfect. So I threw on my clothes, my work clothes, I got out my paints, I finished the job. And then I washed up and I went to work. It was great. Such a great feeling. How many of you have experienced that? Where you're so close to the edge and you just want to give up. You can't see the end from the beginning anymore. You've been doing something so long that you're just so exhausted that you can't even see past your nose. And then it starts to hurt you. it starts to break you down and make you question everything. And it bleeds into other areas of your life, and you just start putting things off, and you're just not accomplishing stuff, and you want to go hide and stay in bed. Yeah, I know how that feels. I know what that's like. That's hard. We don't like that. But that's so common in life, and most of the time, all it takes is for one person outside of you to recognize and help you to recognize how close you are to obtaining your goal, how close you are to reaching that glorious moment when everything comes together. You are closer than you think to awesomeness. And maybe you need a mentor. Maybe you need someone to guide you and help you to become that person that you're trying to become. Maybe you need a little bit of help. I'm here. I'm happy to help. But reach out to someone. Reach out. We can do this together. I hope you have a wonderful day and have fun accomplishing your goals.